Hello gamers, Scrub here, and welcome back to the channel. Got another match review for us to dive into tonight. Of course, if you want to hang around and deal with the whole Yapping, please do. Otherwise, jump to the timestamp on the screen to skip all that, preamble yap. If you guys are here, we are playing, still playing Armored Special Forces. I think I'm actually coming towards the end point of playing Armored Special Forces. I'm very close to getting my level 5 display picture, which is very cool. I can be a cool dude now with my cool elite gamer profile, or gamer skill tag, as well as my gamer profile. But yeah, enjoying Special Forces, but considering trying something else to kind of play something a bit, I don't know, better. But playing on the map Suwałki Gap, which will be never really been a big fan of it, but kind of went into the match with a fairly strong game plan that I wanted to kind of test out and all that good jazz. Saying that, I just want to give a big thank you to everyone who's been, commenting and providing me a ton of advice in the comments. Had a really wonderful chap point out the issues I was making with my F-35s, which, would explain why they keep dying all the time. It seems like I'm just not microing correctly, So, yeah, apparently you gotta bring them in at low altitude and then queue up the bomb run, make them go high, drop the bombs, and then low out again and micro them away using afterburner. So that's really cool. I think I tried doing that before, but I must have been overriding the low altitude drop. I don't know. Definitely in the last review for sure, I was just calling him in and just not even thinking. Like, legit, it was... I think there was a few times as well where the planes were just kind of flying around in circles, being idiots, and just immediately died. But unfortunately, with this match, we do have another mirror, which is kind of disappointing. I'm contemplating, setting up a little lobby when I do these... when I try playing the game. I really want to try and get as far as I can in solo queue. I don't really want to team up just yet, just because it, creates such a... It makes the game not easier, it's just a lot... It's a lot more... Yeah, it's easier in a way, when you're not kind of dealing with randoms and all that. And I like playing solo queue, because I don't have to talk to anyone and I can kind of, communicate by chat. Saying that, I am tempted to do a lobby, just so I can turn off mirror matches, because it is doing my head in a bit. Having to, I might only be able to get 2 games a day, 3 if I'm lucky, and they're mirror matches, and they're not fun at all. Particularly when, you don't really get to learn anything from them outside of how fun it is, how OP the US is in some regard. And now we kind of got the opening section here. I'm trying to take a step back in these stages of the, the match mode, doing all planning, and not really unless I'm really confident on the map. I'll dive in and select that portion. Otherwise, I'll really prefer to kind of fill in where the team needs, because there's no point in me trying to I want to go and play on, say, J, for example, when someone else wants to, and we don't have anyone fighting over D. So at least in this game, I decided to kind of hold off, picking my point until, I could actually fight on D, which is actually the one going into the match. I'm like, I'll give it a shot. Play this side. I'm not sure if you guys have ever experienced this, but I don't know why. Whenever I see that map view in the start screen, or previously in the deployment screen, it's so confusing. I just completely get confused every single time what map we're playing until we actually load it, and I'm like, oh, it's actually this one. Yeah. So F-22, as always, it's the bread and butter Special Forces, and if you're not kind of bringing one, you're kind of ham-fisting yourself a little bit. Planning on my D rollout. Big thing with this match is that I've similar to Ruda, where you kind of have to, if you can, you want to go and get control of that early that forest on the far side of the area to control it. Going into D, I wanted to kind of just yeet my units as far as possible and see how deep I can get onto the opposite side, because really with this map, and particularly contesting on D, it comes down to how deep you can kind of build your, you can get your units and where you actually initially draw that front line. D is such an open area where if you don't kind of have preemptive units kind of blocking off any pushes coming through, or at least being able to recon scout them, you can get put in a position where there's a ton of, you get way too much pressure on applied to you and you just break. Interesting with this match as well, I try and talk as much as I can in the comments, in the chat, just to kind of tell people what's going on and all that. Best way to kind of communicate. It'd be cool if you could be on voice chat, but as I said before, I don't really want to play teams. Not yet at least. So now with my roller, just kind of figuring out what other units I've got. You know, I've got 2 Rangers Recon, I've got some Stingers, and just bring up some Delta Force to deal with any early infantry pushes. Some absolute Giga Chad is going for a Globemaster drop, which is absolutely wild when you don't have air control. And, you know, we just... Well, do we pop that? I can't remember. But can we? Can we get it before it drops stuff off? Ooh, maybe. Okay, it's dead. How many points do we get? 655. That's a lot of points. Actually, there might have been a bit more there from killing that previous plane, but yeah, this is kind of a cool thing of like ELO. You actually see people do Hail Mary stuff like that. It can be pretty dumb to lose all your points that way, but yeah, it's fun. You know, can't knock him for the way he's playing. So the interesting about fighting over D is that you've got this huge open clearing and stuff, and where I've just kind of queued up my Stinger team to go, you got this nice big building there, which is normally most of the time where you want to kind of keep your, maybe, you want to kind of keep your supplies there, or at least have some recon there to provide a bit of overview for the main railway track that's leading directly into this point. The tricky thing about D is that, which this was a mistake I made way, like super early on when I was playing this map. I was too kind of hesitant about like moving up and actually quickly establishing a front line. So when you're playing D, and I think later in the match I do actually talk to my teammate about it, but if they're not building up a nice defensive line between H and D, like just before where C is, you can get absolutely pressured from, you know, not only the direct spawn of the enemy, but as well as any units that are kind of stationary around G and E, and it creates this kind of very, you know, strong pressure which you eventually break from because it's super difficult. Probably could be playing a bit more like crazy Giga YOLO at the moment now, but I wasn't really sure what my opponent would be doing, so they're more than likely the fella who got crippled a bit from that airdrop there, so he's trying to like bring up points and stuff. But yeah, I could have like brought my recon scouts up a lot further, but it's fine. We got the SOF here. They're just kind of getting a bit of early recon, all that jazz. Doing my best to kind of stay behind the buildings, capturing the point to make it a lot easier for me to hold. One big, like, I'm not sure if it's tech. You wouldn't want to call it tech, but like, if you control a point before an enemy kind of comes to capture it, as long as you've got a unit there, even if you're being overwhelmed, they won't be able to start capping it until that unit is dead. So you can kind of get these really nice situations where you play like Weasel mode, and you run your units around just trying to you run the units around just doing your best to extend the length that you have that point until you can get additional support coming up. Absolutely, SOF absolutely gets spanked by that Comanche over there, but you know, it gives me a bit of an idea that there is a heli over there, which is cool. Saves me from running my stuff into the back line. If he didn't have that Comanche over there, I would be definitely charging these SOFs into the back and killing any support units that he does have. So looking at the battlefield now, we've got yellow, poo brown, and red kind of chilling on this side of the map. Bringing up some Rangers and some Rangers, I think some more Delta Force in AMPVs, as well as some AGL teams. I love the AGL teams. In some games I just curse their existence, but in a map like this, they cost 50 points a pop. They can suppress anything that comes into range, which can kind of, you know, work quite well into certain like light armor in particular. There you go. I was like, oh, I've got this chopper back there. I can like recon and use these. You know, I know there's a chopper back there, so I won't eat my stuff in, but I do it anyway. That's kind of dumb. But yeah, the AGL teams can kind of provide this really nice like defensive unit just at the just on that point, so that anything that kind of charges on there, even, you know, trucks or whatever, hopefully the trucks get popped up and the AGL just suppresses whatever infantry or tears them up. Sting is doing a little bit of nice work there, doing my best to kind of micro and get down this heli drop with supplies. Trying my best to bring as many Rangers up at the start because they kind of eat, you know, yeah, bread and butter, defensive unit, they do their thing. Complete misplay with that war pig for sure, and we kind of nearly get it killed. But my Delta Force are doing a bit of work. Probably my next deck that I do try, if I am playing Special Forces again, I will be running close quarter combat Delta. There's enough stuff in the deck, particularly if you micro it well too. You don't really need the Delta Force standoff, even though they're absolutely cracked and they do a lot of good work. And combat engineers can kind of do a job. I probably could be pushing a bit deeper right now onto the other side of D, but we're in this. We're still trying to getting like a good assessment of what's going on. We've got an Abrams tank and, you know, a bit of pressure on this side. 2 people, which, you know, I have communicated that to my team to kind of give them a bit of an idea of, hey, we've got 2 people over here. Probably would be like a good idea to be, you know, aware that if there's, you know, 2 or 1 going on the other side of the map, you could probably pressure a bit, you know, do a bit of a push. Of course, kind of being really static right now, which is, you know, thankfully I am low elo and I'm not kind of getting punished for it. We're still fairly early on. Just bringing up this Comanche to take advantage of the, I've got the extra sights on it, and super cheap. I really like the idea of kind of running these Comanches mega cheap with the 2.4k range and the Hellfires, just to kind of go in there and pop anything that, you know, the enemy is kind of silly enough to keep out in the open. So yeah, looking where we are now, unfortunately the enemy team is a player down, so that's not good. But we are definitely way ahead on kills, so it seems like our teammates are having a really strong game on the other side of the map. Unfortunately, no one's really pushing at this point, and there's quite a lot of support going on in the background looking now, which is, you know, a little bit of an issue, but we're working on it. This is actually a really nice screenshot. If I was to take it now, I could kind of explain the whole thing about you know, applying pressure for your teammates and front lines and stuff. But we've got like lime green and dark green right there. The way we've kind of structured it out, like I'm doing my best to kind of cover these skyscrapers right here, just because we're still, you know, we're in the early stages of the game. We're kind of building up our forces and whatnot. But because lime green has kind of pulled his stuff so far back, we're kind of creating this nice, like, this really vulnerable weak spot in between our lines, where if an opponent was able to kind of push directly through there, they could really, like, you know, like just completely blitzkrieg right through it. It's almost the quintessential like blitzkrieg, that old like cartoon that I think like it's like in some World War II documentary or whatever. But yeah, so if we're at this point now where we've kind of created this like natural weakness in the line, where if they were able to exploit it from the fact that, and they can, you know, very well exploit it because they've got quite a lot of control on that side of the map, they could cause us a lot of damage, and particularly, you know, dislodge us off D. And the issue is, like, I found at least in this game, or this map, and many other maps, it's a lot harder to, it's a lot easier to play defensive than it is to play offensive. So you want to, you know, build a really good defensive line and just kind of play it safe in some respect. Otherwise, you can kind of be, yeah, you just get caught in a position where it'll be a lot harder to take D and push to this whole side of the map, where we kind of are, you know, doing a little bit of fun over here now. If we were having to push across these giant sight lines, because if you get some you get some nice ATGMs in the buildings, some tow teams, it's incredibly difficult to kind of push across. Is that yeah, it's a Stinger team. Probably could be, you know, signaling, not a Stinger, a Patriot. But bringing some additional like recon up right now. I'm really structuring my defensive line around the fact that, like, we are versing at least 2 players on this side of the map. We've got this natural vulnerability to my right, because unfortunately my teammate is not that far up, and we do have these forward recon elements, which are kind of, you know, doing the weasel mode. Rangers recon are crazy. I love these dudes. But the whole point of these guys is to kind of act as little weasels, slow down the enemy, and just keep eyes on. So I can kind of build a nice like defensive point, as well as bring up enough units to be able to slowly like start creeping around D, which at this point I'm starting to do now. It's fair that the opponent is respecting my control of this side of the map, so I can kind of take advantage of that by bringing up some more ranges to slowly increase my influence. Very bad push from those poor little brown dudes, and just noticed that those ATGMs are force firing onto my Stinger teams. Actually, would they naturally fire their tow missiles at Stingers, at infantry? I don't think they would. They normally go for like a different gun, but yeah, we got a Comanche coming up, which was a nice little time there. Thankfully, we got plenty of cover going on right now, and the Stingers like pop that. There we go. Look, these Stingers actually can hit stuff for once. Using my Delta Force to kind of pop some smoke to hopefully get those Stingers over there, but they are suppressed, so they'll be struggling quite hard right now. We've got a PFADS unit coming up to provide some cruiser missile cover, as well as additional AA. Pop goes the transport, that's fine. Our snipers are okay. Tow team's kind of giving a nice overlook going there. and a lot of ATGMs kind of like, you know, spiking all the APS charges on my AMPVs. I'm surprised those those poor Stinger teams are still alive. Here we go. Oh, another smoke. Do we save one? I think we saved one. It's crazy how effective just like even missile barrages are at this point in the game. Do I bring back PFAS steamer? Yeah, I've kind of like realized, oh, there's a lot of choppers on this side. This is kind of a weak point right now. My AA net's kind of gone a bit soft over at D. So bringing up a PFAS unit to provide a bit of covering fire. I have noticed just from kind of viewing the outer side of the map that the enemy is actually taking quite like a big. They're making a lot of use of seed missiles, so that would probably be something if I was, you know, to do this match again, I'd be a lot more aware of where I'm actually of my radar micro and stuff, because that is so important, because you can just lose your stuff so quickly from just a single seed unit. Doing my best to request a bit of artillery going on right now. I don't really have the range to be able to deal with it. Like right now, it would be excellent to have an Abrams tank. That would be, you know, get a nice step 3 out, or even a step 2, just to be able to, you know, fire some shots across there to the other side of the map, and we would absolutely just like spank those strikers. That's fine. It's all good. Taking the advantage from the fact that they aren't really providing any more, moving up any infantry on this side, so I'm moving up my AMPVs and my Delta forces to get to the other side to deal with the infantry when they do eventually come, because at some point they will want to push towards D. Doing my best to keep my stuff hidden. PFAD unit unfortunately out of range, and there's quite a lot of wow, look at that. A single Stinger shot is able to actually hit. Does the next one hit? That's crazy. Why can't those Ranger Stinger teams hit like that on Russian stuff? That's ridiculous. Sometimes it takes like a full Stinger team to kill a single Russian helicopter, and like they're missing all the shots. Thankfully, I do have some additional Stingers coming up right now, but I'm doing my best to reload the other guys, move my AA net up a bit further. Could definitely be moving around my snipers a bit more. We've got 2 on the left. We could get some Cav scouts in these high rises right now. That'd be excellent. Teammate on the lime green is bringing some. Looks like what he's doing. What is he bringing up now? He's kind of preparing to deal with a little bit of push. Thankfully, however, our teammates on the very far side of the map are doing a huge push right now, which is really dislodging the enemy from those points. Next time I play this map, I kind of want to dive right into the center field, because that kind of looks fun. And I reckon running AMPVs and stuff would be wicked on that side. Unfortunately, the downside with like spreading a lot of my units out like this, that I've got like a really wide area where I kind of have to pay attention to. So we've got this situation where I'm kind of quite vulnerable to artillery, and even just the rogue heli strike. So I've got so much stuff everywhere. I've got shit everywhere. It's kind of difficult to keep track of. I've got my killer eggs in reserve, however, because, you know, opponent loves to bring his helicopters, so might as well have my little dudes at the back to do their thing. I'm not sure if this is a push from the enemy from yellow. It almost looks like they are, or they're just trying to get into it. It might have been actually a misclick, because they're just way too late, in particular, on getting their... Is that a Loadmaster drop? Hey, what is he doing? He cancel out of the last minute. Yeah, that would not be a favourable trade. Like, it takes 30 seconds to capture a point, and I've got dudes there. Like, if there was nothing there, you could potentially capture it, but I've got plenty of units that I can really quickly move up. Actually, it might have been actually coming towards a bit of a push, because we've got a little one going on right now. Kind of pointless, as we are late. There's no point pushing right now, unless you were to kind of really like make an effort to dislodge me off this side of the map. But we're really like, yeah, there's no reason to do it now, because you're not going to get any points, and you're only kind of overexpose yourself. Got some strikers doing their thing, trying to be weasels in there, gain control of that tree line again, which, you know, this is pitch perfect. We're on this side of the map, we have units here, we can kind of respond to them trying to gain a foothold. Bringing up some Rangers Moors, as you know, Moors love to kill strikers, and that's kind of a thing. And what else are we going to try bringing up here? Looking at where we are now, we've got some rangers who will have more teams. We can probably pop those out. Do we pop those out? No. Just the autocannons are kind of doing their thing, which is wicked. Come on, drop out. One thing I'm practicing is actually microing units out of a vehicle, popping their smoke, and then hopping back in. Because a lot of the time, like, it's kind of the only way to keep your shit alive. Here we go. Morse team. Yep. Oh, does the AMPV survive? This would have been perfect. Drop a guy out. We're trying to DPS. Yeah, we got it. Oh, Rangers doing their thing. Are they going to kill it? I think we survive. Does the AMPV survive? Weaseling up some more dudes. Rangers kind of doing their thing. Probably could be bringing up some additional supplies right now and moving those snipers around as they're not really in an ideal spot. Oh, there we go. Rangers, do your thing. Do they hit? They do hit, but they don't do anything. Pop the smoke. Come on, killer eggs. This is your whole point. You're gonna actually die. This is one thing as well. Bradleys are surprisingly like autocannons wreck helicopters, and so they can kind of act as like impromptu AA, particularly when you get like caught out like that when you've got no AA and you're kind of like, oh shit, what's nothing to do. Got some pararescue and some mech engineers. Probably not the best combo for being weasels up here, but it's something. Bringing up some more rangers and supplies to, you know, apply a bit of pressure on this side of a map. Loading a bunch of points just in case we need it, but don't really have any particular targets on this side of the map. We're kind of in a quite chill position. What am I bringing up now? We've got Moors coming up, so they're probably a couple of minutes away. Killer Egg doing its thing, being way too aggressive for sure. Could definitely be cycling that Ranger unit and that AMPV unit back towards where the supplies are, even just to you know, resupply, because yeah, it's kind of ridiculous to like leave them there at such low HP. And when my Stingers teams aren't really getting anything, but maybe that's what, yeah, this sort of unit's coming here for. Come on, Patriot. Did you get the Sentinel? Yes we do. Big nuke going off for the other team. Bad guys. You know, we're both US here. We're trying to spread some supplies around, bring us some more SHORAD, and this is like, after reviewing the last router map, I've kind of realized when it comes to AA, like a single SHORAD unit is not going to really do anything for sure. You really need to have multiple. So like bringing double SHORAD up just to kind of hang around, and I think of this match, I'm not sure if I had him as Hellfires. I think I had him as Hellfires. But yeah, double Hellfires, excellent. You get that, you know, what is it, terminal guidance, so flares and stuff don't really do anything. Pulling back my Stingers teams to, you know, do a little bit of heal, get more missiles, all that good stuff. Kind of getting caught out in a weird position right now as we've, that game PV could just be moving back. As we've got like, how many points do I got? What am I doing right now? I've called up another Patriot. We're kind of in this weird position where we're trying to deal with all the... Bruh, we could just be repairing that AMPV right there. Why are we sending it all the way back? That's fine. My recon RRC is still there. I think quite soon coming up, what do we bring? We're bringing Cav Scouts and some snipers. I'm thinking I'm bringing up Cav Scouts and snipers, because Cav Scouts and snipers would be quite good right now. More recons, more good. You know, taking like, yeah, a grain of salt here. We kind of got this nice little, as I'm like slowly pulling my line around to the left here, we're kind of like putting a lot of pressure on GNC, where but the fact that I'm kind of covering this ground here, it makes it really easy for my teammates to be able to kind of push towards C without having much resistance, because we've got this really nice solid front line where if they would have, you know, if they would have like, you know, do a big push through to C, which they really don't need to at this point. It's kind of like a bad idea for them too, because what can they do? They can capture a single objective. Really, they're most... If I was my opponent, I'd be kind of like focusing more attention on me to kind of deal with all that. Oh, lost some more Rangers back there. Are they actually like... Come on Patriot, do your thing. Is that coming to me? think it's coming to me. Painfully, my teammate has their Patriots going on. Yeah, that would have come right for my supply. That wouldn't have been good. I've lost some more stingers than Delta Force, and thankfully I queue them up to do a bit of a move there. Where are those Morse teams? Okay, yeah. Getting about AMPV. What are we bringing up now? Pararescue back. Yeah, that's alright. We're probably going to get a major push coming up soon. Yeah, here we go. As I said, we've got a major yellow push coming through with some additional fire support from Pooh Brown, which is kind of popped a couple of their units. Oh, come on, Bradley, will you survive? Smoking a bit too late, unfortunately. My ping's all right, so we're going to be able to stay alive, but we've got a huge giga push coming our way, so it's going to really be about how do we best micro these units to kind of deal with it. Rangers team could have definitely been pulled back, reinforced with some more dudes, because where we are now, we've got what, a third health, and we're just going to kind of eat it. Moore's team in a good position, probably could be moving that Patriot as they do know my firing location right now. They're not going through this tree line for some reason. I would have probably gone through there because they're going to be like, here we go, we're kind of popping off right here. Alright. Got a big truck push coming down directly towards D. Probably doing their best to kind of pressure me off the point right there. Moving my units around as quickly as possible to kind of get them into some cover to kind of minimize the amount of damage we're getting. Moving these Morse teams up. They're not going to be the best going into those the airbornes, but the autocannon can kind of do a little bit of damage. Morse team pulling back, focusing on attacking the additional support units. BFAD's just ripping apart onto that striker unit for really no reason. We've got the Shorad taking a bit of damage on the side back here. Huge push coming here, full 3 players. We've got Mortars coming in from red. Pooh Brown doing his push with his rangers across an open field again. Could definitely be popping those Morse team out to assist with that AGM push right here. Popping smokes to kind of just disrupt the amount of fire that I am taking. Thankfully though, I didn't push through that tree line, so I'm able to bring up all my fresh reinforcements for close quarter combat units. Moving the Delta Force to the higher ground, they are out of some supplies, however, we just using them to kind of provide a bit more suppressive fire. Huge attention coming on this side of the map. I'm not sure how many points we're killing, but we are doing quite good. Could definitely be popping out a Morse team right there to pop the smoke to kind of deal with these. Yeah, unfortunately we do lose the AMPV, but that's going to happen. Pararescue popping their smokes, getting close. Rangers and mech engineers just acting kind of as a barrier unit to just soak in a bit of fire. Doing my best to kind of communicate to my teammates that we're getting a lot of fire going on right here. Pararescues do their thing and are able to go and take over that point right there, kind of dulling that blade. We've got another AMPV pushing up with some more close quarter infantry doing their thing. More mortar fire coming in against my Stinger teams, which probably would have been, yeah, they were going for the supplies there, but that's fine over here. Saying I've got 4 here, which I kind of do. I think that pilot's just being a weasel, to be honest. Shorad doing its things. Big bombs coming in, doing their best to do damage to me and bit of stuff, but yeah, I've got, what's that? Mech engineers are 50 points, and we had a pararescue squad. So that's like 140 points. And that plane would have cost at least like 400 or something. So, you know, we're kind of trading up at this point. We're in a quite good position. We'd definitely be having a sentinel coming out to provide a bit of covering fire, but they do have pack 3s out in the back. So that would be, yeah, that's probably why I didn't bring them up. Or honestly, I just forgot. Saying that, in a strong position, that huge push for phase 2, like honestly, we've kind of neutralized that whole push, and we're in a very good position. Like, I can't even, I want to go back and see how many points the kill count was at before that huge giga push came through, but I think we've at least got like 2,000, maybe even 3,000 points just from that. And like, I didn't really lose that many units. Like, I'm getting 172 income, so I've still got quite a number of stuff on the field doing its thing. Oh, seed. There we go. Unfortunately, it was too late. Pulling my pack back to do a bit of a resupply. Unfortunately, Sentinel was shut down, but you know, we've got some Stingers survive. We've got some AGL squad. That AGL squad came in clutch, because if I was to lose that point right there, I think we would have been in a lot worse position. Like, that AGL, like, yeah, them just kind of chilling on that little building right there. I could have probably popped them out as well to kind of hide. I wasn't taking any fire, but like, if he actually charged some units that actually did something, it would have been, you know, a bit more scary. AMPV got a little bird coming up, but the Bushmaster should be able to deal with that fairly well. Not really looking at doing a push right now, but more so re-establishing that line of control. That's ridiculous. Like, little bird just pops it, gets an immobilized, which is silly. Moving to the backline by AMPV right now, nothing can really pierce it, but we're going to be trying to mopping up any backline units they got here, which will be providing additional recon from any of their stuff. Mech engineers heading out, because we want to stay for para-rescue for something that would, you know, utilize that flash. Recon Rangers are going to be sneaking up to get a bit of a view of G right now, as everything else is kind of reinforcing. I've got some Cav Scouts coming up as well. As we've kind of, you know, repelled this massive push, we don't really need to be stocking this line as much, and I think just from how brutal that push went for them, I probably like caused a bit of psychic damage to them, and they're not going to want to like actually push that hard on this side again, because, you know, yeah, we dealt with, there we go, look at this, giant plane push at the back. Is it worth it? They're going to lose all their planes for sure. They killed 2 of my little birds, but that's like, you know, 35 points, I think. Not really worth it. Trying to be a little weasel and get a hold of G. Oh, do all the plans die? Yeah, they all died. So they traded for some of our backline support, but they don't really have the points to take advantage of that, which is fine. Bringing some Rangers up, probably being a bit too aggressive, but that's fine. AMPV's been popped by the Comanche, unfortunately, as my Rangers recon move up to deal with this pilot and score a bit of extra points. Always, you know, you got to role play in this game. If you got a pilot and he's dead, or he somehow survived the explosion, you got to do it like a saving, not saving private Ryan, a Black Hawk down, and you got to save him. Pull in whatever you need to get that guy out of here. Para-rescue moving up, not going to really be survived. They're quite like, they're not really in the best position right now, but yeah, we're just getting up there to be a bit of a weasel. You've act as a little bit of a punishment for the opponent for pushing on this side. Like, you know, we won the engagement, we've controlled D, and now we're taking the not the advantage, but we're taking the opportunity to kind of really move the line of control. Fortunately, the only thing that we can really use to deal with his incoming striker push is the fact that we have some RRC with some light, with some, what do you call them? Boomsticks. We call them boomsticks. I forgot what they're called. Looks like those Stingers are just killing that Comanche there. He's not really aware of what's going on, which is fine. And it's amazing. I am surprised those tanks didn't come towards me to push me off my point, because I am quite weak on this side, and we don't really have any Morse team. Bringing up the Rangers on the left, as well as the Morse team to deal with these striker units. And again, everything a bit too late. That push would have been a lot better close towards the actual phase endpoint. We've got 50 seconds on the clock. We control both G and C. Yeah, control G and C. We've got these areas locked down quite well. The recon net is quite far up. Got my F-35s to kind of provide a bit of I brought the F-35s up initially to kind of support my teammate with those tanks, but he was able to deal with them, so it's not really the kind of a waste of time for me bringing them back. So I'm trying to get an idea of any useful targets for me to deal with. Those Rangers are just eating it. Moore's team should have come up a bit sooner and just popped these strikers. For sure, could have even made a push towards even with the F-35 in support. Oh, run away! Run away, Morse teams, you're not going to fight off some Rangers. Airstriking just something in the back line here. Probably could have been calling back this F-35, as we really, don't really have a good idea of what is out there. Moving the mech engineers around. Rangers are going to be... What are Rangers going to do? I'm just kind of leaving them there. Do we survive? Do we get some kills? No, we die. Kind of a waste. But the Rangers kind of act as a little speed bump to the little push that is coming on the left right now, which would be the reaction for us to kind of deal with all this stuff. Moving Stinger teams up as well, as you know, they've demonstrated that they love their helis, and if I don't really respect that, they're gonna like be a bit of a pain for me. What else are we bringing up? We need more frontline right now. We've got a little bit of dudes, but we kind of need a bit more wars and stuff. I completely forgot what I brought up there. But being a weasel with his SOF unit, just trying to get into there, see if they've got anything on the point for us to capture it, and they don't. So we're going to get a bit of capture points for that and make it so they're going to have to actually capture it themselves. RRC moving into the forest to do what they do best. SOF teams, you know, doing a Hail Mary. Probably fast move probably wasn't the best idea for where they are now, because I'll just go directly into the enemy's lines. Probably microing them would have been a bit better, just to go through a forest and push directly over where that church is, because we do know that's where their backline is and they have all their support systems. Good. Alright. Doing my best to signal to my teammate. Oh, do you get in there? Do you get in there? Come on. Yeah, we go. We got one little dude. One little dude gets in there. Bringing up some... What are we bringing up now? We got some Moors coming up. More Stingers moving up as well. Deadfall in the back to kind of provide a bit of fire. Para-Rescue just kind of acting as a buffer unit. Moving the Stinger teams up to be able to deal with this incoming heli push for sure. Teammates slowly moving up on B, as we've been able to like just that you know, that honestly giant push would have been a game-ending mistake for them. We've been able to like completely change the tempo of the game, and like they weren't really in a strong position because they were a player down. But it just goes to show that when you kind of have that big flip, and you're able to get a really strong you know, phase 2, you're more or less in a position where psychologically, like in last game, you tilt mega hard. But likewise, you don't really have the fighting spirit to kind of push back a bit more. Bringing up some additional supplies, as well as, well, that could have been a ranger, because we're going to get a lot of hit right now. Rangers recon, doing the weasel thing. Oh, there we go. Look at that. Rangers, like, this must be standoff rangers. They just tear Rangers recon up. Pretty bad, but we're kind of fighting back. Kind of signaling to my to them that I'm probably the weakest person on this side, and they're gonna, like, you know, do their thing and kind of hyperfixate on me. That's fine. Doing their thing. Should have been running away then, or at least bringing up. Is the Para-Rescue alive? I don't know. A lot's going on right now, but we do have a Global Hawk up and a seed run coming. So changing a bit of deployment of these additional ranges and additional supplies, bringing these up mainly as a supporting element, because we are now going to be pushed off the point. It was never really the intention to hold this line for the whole game. We're just more acting as a stop buffer for them kind of coming and push it off. So now the tempo is on the opponents, so you've got to capture this back, so it gives me a chance to, you know, pull my units back, heal them up, get them back out there to kind of fight when they do eventually capture these, and I can kind of immediately deal with that push. We've got floating 200-ish points. Not necessarily the worst, but does that Sora get away? Yeah, it's cool. Big heli push coming in. Unfortunately, we're a little bit too slow pulling up, getting these Stinger teams back. I hope they all kind of get to be resupplied, but we really don't have enough anti-air to deal with this heli push. Unfortunately, trying to get my Rangers recon up as close as possible to be able to smoke out and deal with... Oh, no. Damn, unfortunately, major damage going on right there. Lose 2 Stinger teams for just the opening salvo, and my Rangers recon are absolutely, you know, spanked as well. Stinger's just running out of ammunition, which is kind of a thing. They use a lot of ammo. They've only got 6 units pop. Sending some cruisers over to this side of the map to kind of deal with this stuff. So we have kind of annoyed them quite a bit, which is fine. It's good. More things they kill. I don't really have anything to deal with these. Thankfully my teammate's got his ST teams up, so he can kind of push them up to give me a bit of support. Rangers recon. So after all that, I've got a single Rangers recon unit, a Stinger unit with half ammunition. And Stinger, Ranger Stinger teams only have 4 ammunition. That's not a lot. That's kind of wild. Got my Killer Eggs, probably could have come up as well, but, you know, I missed the opportunity for that for sure. bringing up my F-35 to... What am I planning to do? I think I'm planning to do a bit of a bomb over here. To hopefully get those kills. I got my Morse teams back there, so it's kind of a little bit of a waste, to be honest. In all honesty. We've got a Morse team that can easily deal with those tanks. Oh, that's not nice. Big bomb going off. But we do a bit of damage to the infantry that's just been unloaded there, which is kind of a downside of bringing all your stuff at once. You know, ideally you want to kind of space out all your units. I think that drone that kind of yeeted into my line was mainly for artillery or even a bomb run that would be incoming. Unfortunately, what are we doing now? We're bringing up the AMPV as well as the Rangers Recon team to assist the Ranger Stinger team in taking up those Rangers, which is nice. Popping smoke as we got a lot of airborne going over there. Thankfully, you know, that combination strike from both my teammate and myself on that point, we're able to kind of provide a nice, like, you know, covering fire onto those airborne right there. We're spending a lot of points to kind of deal with my stuff over here when we really don't have that many units, and we are floating quite a lot right now. Killer Eggs could probably come home as we've kind of dealt with all their helis right now. Morse teams don't really, yeah, definitely a good idea to bring the Morse teams back. The AMPV could have hung around a bit, but really we, yeah. Morse teams could have, Morse teams aren't really needed there. We've got airborne coming up in little transports, which can be popped by most other things. We've only got like a single Rangers Recon squad to cover up those, so we can kind of probably be pushed back quite hard here. We do have 2 Rangers units coming up. Unfortunately, however, I'm pretty sure I missed micro these. Yeah, there we go. Missed micro, and I'm pretty sure I've told them to drop the guys right now. That's kind of frustrating, but, you know, never want to double tap U. I thought what I did was, in my mind, I hit U, tab U, to kind of tell them to, you know, both land both choppers there, but I double tap U, and now they're just going to be dropped out there in the middle, doing nothing. Thankfully, teammates helping out a ton here and bringing up his Abrams tank. They would make a hell of a Maverick run for sure, or even, you know, some 2K bomb drops, but... Yeah, dude, like, we're kind of in a really strong position on this side. Thankfully, I noticed this micro a bit earlier, for sure. Tell me I haven't actually cancelled that. I will see. Keeping my Rangers Recon team up a bit further to the front to provide a bit of support for these tanks. Tanks work wonders on, you know, on vehicles and stuff, but they do struggle a bit into infantry. So having my Rangers Recon there to kind of support, as well as his combat engineers, sorry, these mech engineers that are coming up now, are able to kind of assist them in their armored push, because, yeah, completely messed up that micro there, which is fine. 6 minutes left on the clock, so we're kind of entering the final phase of the match. In a very strong position. This is kind of like the deciding push on this side to determine if we're going to be capturing G in the final phases of the game. We're actually quite close to their spawn, so I don't have many points, but I should be kind of prioritizing bringing up the units I'll be using in the final stage of the game. But probably coming towards the last time, I'll be able to call up some AMPVs and actually have them to be useful. Or is that a Giga Bomb? I swear, I would have thought that would have been a nuke. But, you know, unfortunately, we survive. Fortunately, we survive, and we can kind of yeet ourselves in there. I could be bringing up my own Patriot right now, but, you know, at this point, I don't think it really matters. We're 5 minutes left on the clock. That Patriot would have definitely helped with that strike there, but getting infantry and getting bodies on the point would be a lot more important. Getting this mech engineer up. There's nothing on the point, so I probably could be microing that a bit better and getting the... what are you doing? A10, what are you doing? You're just doing a fly. Are you just returning to base, or you're just... I don't know what that A10's doing, seriously. It's just kind of flying over and now it's dead. Moore's team at the back kind of acting in reserve for the next strike push that will be, you know, more than likely coming in. Mech engineers on the left in a pretty poor position there, but that's fine. Taking advantage of the Silent Hawk's additional stealth to kind of bring these Rangers right up to the front line for us to deal with. At this point, focusing on prioritizing the units kind of acting as weasels. We've got some mech engineers coming up on the right here. some RSOFs. Could probably be using those units a bit better and running towards E just to capture that, kind of split Mr. Brown's attention a little bit more. 26 mech engineers. How is it that I get into the same position where my bloody Moore's teams are facing off against infantry, and my infantry are facing off against strikers? But, you know, plenty of artillery coming down, which is cool. Moving Moore's teams back, or the Rangers teams move up. Probably not the best position they could be diving into a building, but, you know, that's fine. We can't really judge right here. Doing my best to bring up my Stinger teams, as I'm expecting to get quite a big early push going on right now. Those Delta Force could honestly be like yeeted up right now into those tree lines to kind of provide a bit of fire support. But it seems, are they firing right now? It kind of looks like they are. RSOV pushing to the left and heading towards the back line again. What's going on here? Sending my Rangers Moore's team to go and be restocked. Oh damn, I missed that. I'm mismicroed the Rangers, and they were supposed to go into that forest. What do we got here? RSOV's moving up towards G. Moore's teams. We're healing up on the APS and smokes. That'd be quite useful. Rangers moving up. Big kind of a little push going on at C right now. Not sure if... What are we doing? One bomb over here. One bomb. And don't really need that second bomb there. That other bomb could be going towards C. Do I pick that up? I'm not sure, because we've got a lot of pressure coming down right there. Do we fix that? No, we don't. That's fine. Probably not the most efficient trade, for sure. Maybe one of those bombs could have gone to C to assist my teammates there, but at this point, the biggest danger is having not having units on the field to be able to deal with it. Popping smokes and getting my Rangers to stay still, so the Comanches lose their sight. Stinger team's doing their best to deal with this massive push of Comanches. Definitely could have some shore ride up right now, and that would have been quite nice to bring. But yeah, we've got 2 minutes left on the clock. Comanches are pulling back. Something is on this objective, so we kind of need to figure out where that is. We're still controlling C, and we're too late to bring up shore ride. So when I was talking about bringing up what units to bring up, I should have really taken a moment to kind of look at everything I had. Yeah, we did have Stinger teams coming up, but shore rides would have been excellent. We've got an idea where these guys are, so we'll just, might as well just bomb them right there, because I don't really want to move my Ranger teams up too much, as it would mean exposing the only units I have there. My Delta Force and Stinger teams are moving up a bit closer, just to kind of, move that zone of fire a little bit further in the last couple of minutes of the match. But otherwise, very strong, and I don't think I commented on it, but I did kind of ping to my green guy a bit earlier and to kind of ask him to move up C, because he's in this really nice position, which is something that you want to do. It's perfect looking at C right now, because he's able to kind of have all these, we're able to stagger our line in a way where we can push pressure on G, easily capture this, as well as easily control C with the amount of supporting us we have in the back. YOLO air push coming from major YOLO air push coming from the opposing team. Looks like that Comanche is just kind of sitting still, and I've completely tilted yellow off this side of the map. They've kind of just given it up to me and like, yeah, nah, it's yours, have fun with it. Which is kind of a cool thing to like see. You can kind of like, when you play the game, and if you're not the one being tilted, it's kind of fun to tilt other people in a way where they just stop engaging with you completely. Like, after that Giga push, they more or less gave up on doing another push to control the forest side of D. They kind of really, I did, start putting pressure on G, but yapping too much. But there we go, that's a win. Pretty crazy kill-death ratio right there, 2.12, which is pretty crazy. I love getting the infantry medal. Is that the infantry, or is that killing people with a high elo? I don't know why we actually... Just looking at the elo stats right now, this is kind of ridiculous, to be honest. We've got like, nearly 800, 1,000, and we've got like nearly 800. Well, we've got like 800, 1,000, 1,000, and 500s, and they've got all 700, 800. So they kind of like were quite boned from the start, and they had someone not really join. And I love getting that infantry medal. That's fun. Where like most of your kills come from infantry. Infantry's just so good in this game. And I've also unlocked level 5 specialization for armored special forces. So I get my cool display picture, which is wicked, and 800 elo, which is cool. We're getting towards the 1k. I can feel it. I think once I start getting a bit higher, the games won't be as fun and they'll be a bit more intense. But yeah, this was good. It goes to show that when you have a really strong position and you can set yourself up quite early on, you can just wreck shit. Honestly, you don't really get you just kind of kick a chat it. I'm pretty sure that guy playing Special Forces Armored as well. I don't think 6 KD is kind of crazy. He might have been the support guy for that. I don't like these support players. Just go frontline, do something a bit more. This is a genuine 2.12 KD. None of your inflated 6.0 KDs. Like, this is actually me controlling the lines and doing stuff for once. But yeah, unfortunately, I'm an idiot and I don't actually click for history, so I can't actually see what we killed. That's a little bit disappointing. Thinking back to this game, what we probably could have done better. Could definitely have brought up a tank. Just looking at Gap and this map, when you're fighting over there, you've got such long sight lines. You could just like pull it, have a tank there, peek your nose out, pop anything that's coming down, and that would have really assisted with those massive striker push. And I could have even been able to get a bit of supporting fire across from where my skyscrapers are over to where they were. Saying that overall quite happy, and definitely an enjoyable match, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching it. Of course, happy to have you all here. If you want to give a comment or do a like, please do, or subscribe even. But of course, don't stress yourself out. I'm just kind of doing this for fun and mainly for myself. So yeah, we're just kind of fun here. It's chill, no stress, and yeah. Hope to see you guys in the next one. I'm coming towards my 10th upload now on YouTube, and the channel's doing quite well, so that's very fun and very good. I will definitely try a new, deck next time. I've seen the extent of this one. I could probably upgrade this a bit more, but I probably will in the future. This might just be my go-to bread and butter deck, but it definitely needs some improvement. I've got a lot of units that kind of overlap in the same role, and I'm not really using certain ones. I think the set frees will still stay because a well microed set free is just crazy to deal with. I do like the double 2k bombs. They're great. It's like a kill button. When I hit things, it's a kill button. Saying that, I will probably... I've had a couple of games since this match. Since, doing this match, and now I'm like in retrospect coming back and recording it, and I've had like a lot of issues actually getting matches to even play. The servers have been quite unstable of late, and that's very disappointing. I've had and a couple of the games were just atrocious, like mirror matches with like 2 or 3 support players, and that's not really fun. So the next upload, you will see my elo has dropped quite a bit because I think I'm on I've lost 3 matches, unfortunately. Enough complaining, enough yapping. Thanks for everyone who watched, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks. Bye-bye.